Hi, I'm Gloria, one of the Youth Services librarians at North Riverside Public Library. I love squash. I love it as a side dish. We have summer squash and we have autumn squash or winter squash. The summer squash has a thinner skin and it doesn't last as long. There are lots of different kinds and you're probably familiar with them. The zucchini is one of the summer squashes. The autumn squashes have a thicker skin, they're harder to cut, but they also last a lot longer. You can't usually eat the skins, but sometimes you can. Some of the varieties of winter squash are this butternut squash. You might be familiar with this. Used in pastas and rice dishes and by itself, lots of different things. And then there's this buttercup squash. Looks a lot like a pumpkin, and a pumpkin is a squash too, so you can see why. And this is an acorn squash. This is about the only kind of squash I grew up with. My mom used to make this, and she would cut it in half, bake it with butter and salt and pepper until it got tender in the inside, and then we'd scoop it out. Now, my mother always told me you had to look for the acorn squash that had a little square or a circle of orange on it, not just solid color like this. But this one is solid color. My daughter bought this one, and so we'll see if this tastes any different than the ones with the little orange. Somehow I kind of doubt it. Just kind of an old wives' tale. And then we have the Delicata Squash. This one was new to me, and actually my daughter found the recipe for this one. This one is what I'm going to make today. It tastes a little like sweet potato, but we can eat the skin on this. It's the hard skin, but not as hard as the butternut and the acorn. When we bake it, it becomes chewy and crunchy, and it's really very good. First of all, before we start, I washed my hands already, and I scrubbed the Delicata with a vegetable brush because we are going to eat the skin even though we're going to bake it. So I've already done that. Here's the one I washed. So I will show you how I'm doing that. Just move this down a little. Okay. First, we're going to cut off the ends. It's a little hard to cut, not as hard as some of the others, but it's a little bit hard. You're supposed to cut it down this way, lengthwise, and then scoop the seeds out of it. But I find that a little hard to do with all the ridges. So I'm going to cut it in rounds. And I won't do all of them. I won't do the whole squash. So then you're going to come up with something that looks like this. What I'm going to do is just take a smaller knife and scoop this out. All the center out. And then I like to take a grapefruit spoon and it has fibers in here around. So I like to get those out too. Just wouldn't have to, but like on a pumpkin, after you scoop the seeds, you get kind of pulpy stuff too. So if you're going to eat it, you'd probably want to take that out. Cut the whole one, the whole squash, just like this. This is how it looks in the center. So it's going to look like this. Then I'm going to cut it in half so you have a half moon shape. Like this. Now I'm going to dip it in olive oil. And put it in here. Put it on a cookie sheet, which is not greased. Just a plain cookie sheet. Just going to show you these two. And then I'm going to add some sea salt, and pepper. Look like this. But you can cover the whole tray. The whole tray will fit this size squash. And then I'm going to put it in a preheated 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. Take a look at it. Turn it after 20 minutes and cook it for maybe another 10 or 15. See how it looks. When you're done, take it off the cookie sheet and it'll look like this. Now, good to eat like this. The skins are chewy and crispy, and it's kind of a salty treat with a lot of health benefits along with it. So I hope you enjoy making your Delicata Squash. Try one of the others, see if you can find a good recipe. I know I have to find something to do with my big orange buttercup squash. I'm not sure what. I'll have to Google that. Enjoy yourself. See you again next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.